Hello folks, and welcome to another video. In this one I'm going to be doing a review of my new GT Omega Classic wheel stand. Now I've had the wheel stand for about 3 weeks now, so I thought I'd give myself a good few weeks before I made this video, so as I can pick up on any sort of pluses and minuses. As ever, if you enjoy this video and you found it interesting or entertaining, it would be great if you gave me a little thumbs up like there. And if you want to see more content like this, then please subscribe to my channel. I've got some nice videos coming along in the future. I'm going to chat, as well as doing the review of the GT Omega stand here, I'm going to kind of chat about why I moved on from my previous kit, which involves a Wheel Stand Pro. I also need to mention, much to my embarrassment, that once I started doing my research for a new stand and looking at the GT Omega website in a bit more detail and what products they had to offer and everything, I had a look at their contacts page and realised they're a Scottish company. I don't know why I had it in my head that GT Omega were an American company, but they're just along the road from me in Glasgow, so very happy to support a Scottish company through these difficult COVID times. So, before we take a look at the actual stand, let's have a look at the packaging. Let's have a look at the box that it came in. So I've got it up against a door. Gives you an idea of the sort of size of it. And very well packed. Not too heavy, you know, even for a gentleman of my age to take off the Amazon delivery guy into my living room to open it. Not too heavy to carry. So that's the size of the box, and once I've got it out, I'll carry on this review video. So folks, here we are with my two sets of stands and pedals. My old kit, which is the Logitech G29 and the Wheel Stand Pro, and my new kit as of 3 weeks ago, the Thrustmaster T300 RSGT edition and the GT Omega Classic wheel stand. So let's just chat a little bit about why I moved from this to this. So let me say straight from the start that this is an excellent starter kit for sim racers. The Wheel Stand Pro has served me very well, as is the G29 and pedals, over the past, I think it's about 3 or 4 years I've had them. So nothing particularly bad to say about them. The reasons I wanted to upgrade, twofold really. When I first got the Wheel Stand Pro, I had a Logitech Driving Force GT, and I upgraded to the G29. And the plate underneath that the wheel screws onto was only pre-drilled for my Driving Force GT. So I had to buy a new one of these from Wheel Stand, which I think was about an extra sort of £40 with shipping to the UK. Now, you know, you could argue that is not Wheel Stand's fault, that is Logitech's fault for maybe not having the bolts in the same place for their wheels. And so, you know, getting my new T300, I thought, oh, I don't want to be faced with that issue again. You know, what if it doesn't fit the Wheel Stand Pro? I'm going to have to buy another mounting plate. The second issue which made me want to upgrade, and again, it's not Wheel Stand's fault, it's more me and my advancing years, but it's this central pillar. So when I'm sitting, trying to operate the pedals, I've got this pillar right in the middle, and the brake pedal is the middle one. So what I have to do is bend my ankle around a little bit, and I have actually moved the plate over to the left to try and help, but it doesn't really. So in longer races, I'm sitting like this and I'm bending this ankle round, and it gets very sore after a while, and it affects my driving and it affects my concentration. As I say, two issues which are no fault of wheel stands themselves really. I think there's a new version 2 out of the Wheel Stand Pro, and maybe the mounting plate is pre-drilled for lots of different wheels like the GT Omega one is. And, you know, the centre stand, again, it's my issue, not particularly theirs. One thing was great with this setup is, you know, I've got a PC in here in what I call my office. And in the living room with the big telly, I have my PlayStation 4. So if I want to cart this wheel and Wheel Stand Pro and pedals through to the living room, very easy to do. I don't even really have to fold it up. It's quite light just to carry through. But if you want to store it, the whole thing, you just loosen off this big retaining bolt thing here, and the whole thing just folds down. And very nice, you know, that little space that I've got there with a few rucksacks and things, I could easily store it in that little space. So, nothing particularly bad to say about the Wheel Stand Pro, it's just that I needed something different. So, on to the GT Omega Classic Wheel Stand. I have done a separate little video on my T300 wheel and pedals if you want to go and have a look at that. I'll maybe do an update video after I've owned it for about 6 months. But we're here to talk about the stand really. So the first thing to say is the build quality is absolutely superb. It is a hefty piece of metal. The other great thing is once you take it out of the box, it's pretty much 95% built. You just kind of have to unfold it. The only things I really had to attach were these two little locking things. There's one either side, two either side there. These little things down here, again locking. To put the stickers on, it comes with 3 stickers, so you can decide whether to put them on or not. And then, to be honest, the hardest part was bolting the wheel and the pedals on. You know, it's definitely a 2-man job, or a 1-man, 1-woman in my case. My wife and I spent a good bit of time trying to line up the holes, one holding the base, one holding the pedals and wheel. Well, we got there eventually. And as I say, that this base is pre-drilled, as are the mounting part for the pedals. They're all pre-drilled for different brands, so you know, Logitech, Fanatec, everything's going to fit. So once it was assembled and the wheels attached, it probably took about half an hour, to be honest. Now, what I'm really impressed about as well from GT Omega is they include, I think, what they call the old style and the new style of a gear shift holder. So I think this is maybe the newer style, and you can either mount it on this side or you can mount it on this side. And I think this is the older style, which goes in here or here with a plate mounted on top to hold your gear shifter. Now, I prefer using the paddles. I can't see me ever buying a gear shifter. However, it's really, I think it's quite generous of them to include these two. Real value for money. I was thinking about the prices. I'm pretty sure for the Wheel Stand Pro, even though it was 3 or 4 years ago, I paid about £80 off Amazon. And then, as I say, I had to buy an extra mounting plate when I changed my steering wheel, so that added an extra sort of 40, so that was about 120. The GT Omega Classic Wheel Stand, which I only bought 3 weeks ago, for 119, and it's a much sturdier piece of kit. Again, foldable. I'm not going to fold it down because I've got all my wires nicely routed. They include all the Velcro grips, so you can route your wires nicely. So yeah, kudos to GT Omega. They kind of include everything that you need. Very, very impressive. What I am thinking of doing, I might mount this and put a button box on it or something like that. I'm sure that would be possible. Or it could just be there to hold my beverage of choice when I'm sim racing, whether that's a cup of tea or a nice can of beer. But there's options there anyway. So, as I've said, it's a really hefty piece of kit. A lot heavier, obviously, than the Wheelstand Pro. Still quite manoeuvrable. You know, I try and keep it the other side of my office here, and only when I'm sim racing do I move it over to here, where I normally sit in front of my PC. But it's easily manoeuvrable. There's actually some nice little, you can see one there. There's some nice little sort of slidey feet that you can fit on, which makes it very easy to manoeuvre across carpet. I'd imagine it might be the same with a wooden floor. And as I say, it can fold down. If I really wanted to get it through to the living room for the PlayStation 4, which I haven't done yet, that's easily possible as well. So, mightily impressed with this stand. The other reason I wanted to choose this one is it is expandable into a full cockpit. So, with these bits here, you can buy the rear end, so to speak, of the cockpit from GT Omega, and you can buy a seat from them as well. So then pretty much you've got a kind of full sim rig cockpit. So you can build the system up as you go, which was very appealing as well. And I'll definitely be looking at that once I get this office cleared out and redecorated and get rid of some of the furniture, and create a little bit more space. So, final thoughts. You know, if you, like me, have been clamping your wheel to something like a Wheelstand Pro, or even just to your desk, and you want to move on to something a little bit more sim-like, and start and, you know, get into an ecosystem where you can build on it, then I can thoroughly recommend this GT Omega classic wheel stand. Very impressed with it. Fantastic build quality. Came nicely packaged. Lots of extras included with it, as I've mentioned, with the different gear shifter mounts. Stickers you can put on or off, Velcro taped holder things for your routing all your wires and everything. They really have thought of everything. So kudos to the guys at GT Omega, big shout out to you. And the guys at Wheelstand Pro, loved your stand as well. Unfortunately, I've just kind of grown out with it. But if you're on a bit more of a budget and you want a bit more of a starter stand, then there is nothing really wrong with this one either. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that little kind of video review and thoughts. If you did, I'd love it if you gave me a thumbs up like, and if you want to see more of this kind of stuff and more of my content, then subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot. See you all later.